Hello and welcome to One Player. Today we're taking a look at Maquis. This is a solo game, a solitaire worker placement strategy game for just the one player. This should take us 30 minutes. Let's get going. We are a band of French resistance fighters. Here we are sitting at our safe house down on the south end of town. We have two missions to complete. I've chosen them already. One is the parade day. The other is to destroy the train. I'll go into those just a little bit later. We have to complete those missions before the end of day 15 here on this handy day tracker, before our morale falls to 0, or before we're all arrested and or killed. Now, the way we do that is by placing our workers or placing our resistance fighters on these various locations around the map. We do that in turn while placing the enemy patrols of the Maquis, a paramilitary unit that the Nazis imposed onto pretty much everywhere, I'm guessing, in France, to squash any anti-Nazi sentiment or any sort of resistance uprising. Kind of a fascinating story that I wasn't actually aware of, specifically those patrols at least. So we pull a card from the patrol deck, we place a patrolman down, or a Maquis patrol down, and they are essentially trying to arrest, shoot, whatever you want to say, arrest us and stop us from moving around the town freely. Now, as I said, we've got these two missions, and the rulebook does a nice job of letting you know kind of the varying difficulties of all the missions. There are quite a few, so these are two I've never played before, and there's plenty of them to go around, so plenty of replayability in that regard. And we've gone for one hard and one easy, so kind of hopefully trying to keep a bit of a balance. This first one is the easy one. This is a parade day. The Maquis are holding parades around town. A brave volunteer must show our defiance. They probably won't make it back. We have to deliver one weapon to Rue Baradat, which is Baradat Street right here, on a parade day, either day 3, 6, 9, 12, or 14. So these days actually marked in orange here. The worker will be arrested. We increase our morale by 1. And before this mission is completed, the road between Rue Baradat and the fence is blocked. So let's place a little token there to make sure we remember that. So we cannot move freely between Rue Baradat and fence on parade days. Okay. Our second mission is to destroy the train. Very River Kwai. Although that's the wrong country. We've received intelligence that the occupation are going to be transporting panzers along the railway near your town. Plant bombs to destroy the train as it passes. We have to deliver 3 explosives to this location, and it must be completed between days 6 and 9. So we've got a kind of a 3-day window there in which to explode the train. And the way we do that is basically, we need to make a chemistry lab. Here it is. We are going to build a chemistry lab in order to pick up explosives. We're going to change medicine into explosives because chemists know how to do that kind of thing. And we will then deliver the 3 explosives to the train and, you know, sit back and watch the fireworks, I guess. How do we get medicine? How do we get weapons? How do we blah, blah, blah? Well, each space on the map, as you can see, has these kind of small icons here, and those are the things we can gain from that space or exchange on that space with our workers placed there. So, for example, we go to the doctor, we can pick up some medicine. If we go to the grocer, you guessed it, you can pick up some food. If we go to the cafe, we can bribe or provide food to the hungry, disgruntled French populace and actually hire more workers, hire more resistance fighters with which to resist. Yes. So where are we going first? Let's begin. Now, there are a couple of ways of getting weapons. I think what I'm going to try and do is get this one out of the way first, because it is the easier one, the easier mission, and then focus on destroying the train from day 6 to day 9. I think that's what I'll do. I'm pretty sure I can get this one taken care of. Although, I mean, in saying that, this is going to take quite a lot of preparation. And so to build those 3 explosives is probably going to take quite a bit of work. So with that said, I might actually want to concentrate on getting this ready and then do the parade day, maybe on, you know, on day 9 or day 12, or even day 14. So there's actually 3 chances after the train is exploded. So I just talked myself out of my original strategy, and that's probably going to happen quite a lot in this game because that is how it will go. There's going to be some decisions. There's going to be some decisions. That much I can guarantee. Let's place our first worker. One thing to remember when we are placing our workers is that we always have to be able to trace our way back to the safe house with our workers at the end of the turn. Otherwise, they will be arrested. So, for example, if I find myself in Pont du Nord, but I have 2 patrols here on the Poor District and the Black Market, I am unfortunately surrounded and I'm not able to make my way past the Miller's patrols, and this worker will be essentially removed from the game. I cannot get them back. So, I'm going to play it a little bit safe and just go, you know, baby steps. Baby steps. I'm going to the grocers. We've placed our worker, we then place a patrol, and they are also going to the grocer. So if we have a person on the place, on the top location on the patrol card, we just move down to the second one. So they are going to Pont du Nord, the North Bridge, and that is that. If we have people, or if they essentially, if all of these spaces are occupied, then we go back to the top and start arresting people. So that's quite dangerous. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. So we're here at the grocers. We've got another worker to place, and I believe we'll take them to. I think we'll take them to the Black Market, shall we? I can trade food for cash here, and that will help me because I do need cash to build my chemistry lab. So I'm going to get food from the grocer, trade it for cash in the Black Market, and really what I'm trying to do is make my way to Radio B here unscathed so I can call in an airdrop, and the next turn I will be able to collect said airdrop from one of these empty fields on the edge of town. And that can either be money, weapons, or a weapon, or food. And I think we'll go with the food so that we can trade it at the Black Market again. Follow me so far? Hopefully you do. Yes, okay, now it's time for the patrol. They are going to Pont l'Evêque, which is exactly why I decided to kind of make this human chain of resistance fighters here, because they just blocked off the only other escape route, if you will, that links us from this side of town, this side of the river, back to our safe house. So our third worker is going to go to Radio B. We do have a little chain of resistance fighters so we can make our way back safely to the safe house. The Miller's patrols never come down here, basically. They don't come to the cafe or the safe house, so we are safe on this side, luckily. And the third Miller's patrol is going to go to Radio A, where they will find nothing. Nothing of suspicion whatsoever. Now we move on to the action phase. So we can take our actions in any order we so desire, which is important because I do want to get food from the grocers in order to spend it at the Black Market, like so, and gain money. I also have to lower my morale by 1, unfortunately, but that does, as our morale lowers here, you'll see like the various morale numbers in black, the patrols increase. So the number of patrols is equal either to the amount of workers or the number shown on here, whichever is higher. So we're down to 5 in our morale, but 5 out of 7 isn't so bad. We're still relatively chipper. And we've got ourselves some cashola. Now then, we can with this worker call in our airdrop, and like I said, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is call in some food. This plan worked okay, and I suppose I could call in a weapon for the, getting ready for the parade day, but I think I'm going to call in food, and the reason why I'm going to do that is because then I can send someone to construct, I can send someone to the black market and send someone to the spare room and someone to the field, and hopefully construct the chemist lab all in one turn if things go well. That is what I shall do. So now we trace our way back to the safe house with all of our workers. We have a clear run down on the south end of this river here. We then upkeep the patrols. We move our day along. So we are now, we've passed one day and we start all over again. I'm going to move my worker as planned to the field in order to collect these, this food supply. The only thing that gives me hesitation here is that if I send someone to the black market and someone to the spare room here, which, I'm guessing I'll probably do this one just because it seems close and makes me feel safer. If I do that, I do run the risk of having this worker be blocked off if the patrols do draw both the Pont l'Evêque and the grocer. However, I think it is a risk that I'm willing to take. So I've placed my guy down on the field, and there we go. The patrols are going to land on the grocer. So that spare room is now off limits, and I suppose, oh, well, you know what? If I go to the black market and the spare room here, then both of can I use this as a safe house as well? I think the answer is no to that, because I would actually need to, I would need to create the safe house. So I can have a second safe house somewhere else on the board, but I need to buy it. I need to pay off the person with the spare room in order to stay there. So my plan is still a little nerve-wracking, because if they draw Pont l'Evêque, which is possible, I'm not sure how many other cards there are with Pont l'Evêque as number 1, but I'm sure it's some. Of course, I could also occupy Pont l'Evêque, play it safe in some regard, and then have this gentleman go to the black market, for example, just get the money, and then next turn build the spare room, which I don't feel so bad about. It's still early doors, and I think I would rather do that than risk having him be arrested. Yeah, let's go to Pont l'Evêque and see. Radio B is where the patrol was gonna land, so that's okay. We'll place our last worker on the black market, and the hope is that the patrol is not in the Poor District. It's not. It's on Rue Badadat. So we could have got away with doing the spare room and not having to sit on Pont l'Evêque, but you know what? We weren't to know that. We weren't to know, and I'm not taking risks, okay? I'm not a risky resistance fighter. I'm quite conservative. We're going to take our actions, which means we're going to bring back the food to the safe house, immediately somehow transfer that to the black market. Don't question it. Transfer that to the black market and get a money. So this comes into my possession. I transfer it for a money, of which now I have 2. My morale goes down again, so now we're drawing 4 patrols. I have to remember that. And that is it. I can trace my route back to the safe house with my workers there. the patrols are done for the day. They're going night-night, and we're moving on to day number 2. We now have 2 money and 2 food. We have to get this chemist lab set up. And I think the way I think what we need to do that is well, we need some medicine. We need some medicine in order to make the explosives, of course. But also, I think this turn we should focus on, well, yeah, exactly that. And now I've got this nice little route planned out here. Pont l'Evêque to the doctor, to the spare room, build our chemist lab here, and that way we've got a nice route to our explosives. Do we go Pont l'Evêque first or spare room first? I think we go to spare room first just to make... No, we go to... You know what? We go to doctor first. Yeah, we go to doctor first. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to the doctor first. I might regret this. Patrol is going to the fence. We are going to Pont l'Evêque. Yes, we're going to Pont l'Evêque because we're drawing 4 patrols now. So yes, I do want to make sure I have a route. They're not going to go to the parades. I keep calling parades. It's not a parade. It's much more malicious than that. The milice, the patrols, I should say, are not going to go to the spare room. They don't ever go to spare rooms. So I'm certain that they're not going to land there, and thus I'm safe. They're going to go to not the fence, but the Rue Baradat. I am going to go to the spare room. They are going to draw another one, which is Radio A. So they're pretty close, but not close enough. And then the 4th is the Pont l'Evêque. So I'm glad I did that, because otherwise we would have probably been screwed. They're going to the black market instead, which is fine by me. Go do whatever you want. And we will activate in our action phase. We will build with 2 money. We will build our chemistry lab. And we'll place that into this wonderful, I mean, that is satisfying, this wonderful double thickness board. We will also get a medicine, which is nice, because we can change that into bombs later. And then we will trace our way back. Unfortunately, I can't I can't use this guy for 2 actions, so I can't immediately trade this for an explosive. I would like to do that, but unfortunately that's not how it works. Let's trace our way back across the Pont l'Evêque to the safe house. We are good for the day. None of us have been arrested and or killed, and then we're gonna move on to day 3. This orange marcation on the number of the number of days means we unfortunately drop another morale, and so we are now on level 3. We're still drawing 4 patrols. That's fine, you know, that's okay. We're just gonna have to, I mean, I think honestly we're just gonna have to repeat what we just did over and over again until we win. So it is a parade day. So this road is indeed closed. Before I could have escaped out of it if necessary. But that does mean that from this side of these kind of clusters here, Pont l'Evêque is the most important place to have a worker, because I'm not going to be able to get back otherwise if I don't have somebody there. That being said, I hate to go, you know, to kind of waste the turns like them, you know. I'd rather just get out to the chemistry lab and go. But quite frankly, I don't think that's going to be an option. So yes, we're conservative resistance fighters. We are going to play it safe. We're sneaky, you know. We're trying to sneak. We're not big and flashy. We're just trying to get our stuff done, which involves, you know, well, the creation of high explosives. We are going to shuffle the patrol deck, and we are going to draw. Well, we've got 4 of these to draw. So let's see. There you go. That's why we short it up. Okay. Fine decision making on my part. I feel fully vindicated in that decision to take it steady. I'm now going to go to the doctor. as I might have just had a mild heart attack. And we're gonna, oh my gosh, Pont l'Evêque again. So that means Pont du Nord is covered. And then to the chemistry lab, where I believe we can repeat this action. So if I, get another medicine, I believe I can do it twice in one turn. I think I can. Rule check. It's difficult wording. So it says that some actions and locations require trading in resources from the left of the arrow in order to obtain rewards on the right. All resources, again, plural, are returned to and taken from the supply. So by resources on the left and resources on the right, do we mean multiple medicines and multiple explosives in one day or not? I suppose if we want to be nitpicky about it, we should probably say not, and thus we'll have to go back to the chemist lab 3 separate times in order to generate the explosives necessary to derail this train. I think that's what I'm going to do. If you have any suggestion or clarification on that rule, do let me know. I mean, obviously, like here, I can spend resources, as we already have, to build a spare room. In the poor districts, for example, I can spend resources, plural, food and medicine in order to raise my morale. Here, it's not, and with the smuggler, I'm guessing, this is a choice, isn't it? So I can either get 3 medicine or 3 food, so that's not really the same. I don't know. Oh gosh, this is a great space. Anytime you go here, you get morale, and you don't need to go home. That's what that little star means. So you don't have to go home. It doesn't matter if you're trapped. That's something I might want to think about later. I can't believe I've never seen that. And then why would you build a safe house if you could just build a propagandist? Anyway, we're off track. What did we do? We placed our 3rd worker, so we're going to place the 3rd patrol. They are going to land on radio A, and then we have to place our 4th patrol, given that our morale is quite low, and they are going to go to the fence. That's fine. Today, we are going to the doctor's, we are going to get some medicine, and we are also delivering some medicine to the chemistry lab, where we are rewarded with high explosives. We're then going to trace our way back to the safe house, like so. Remove the patrols from the board and advance on to day number 4. Frankly, I think we'll probably just do exactly the same thing this time around. So we'll go to the Pont, we'll go to the doctor, we'll go to the lab, and that way we're just keeping it safe. Keeping it safe and sound. If I keep doing that, I should have all the explosives necessary by day 6. Yeah, by day 6. And thus, I can deliver the 3 explosives to the train, complete that mission, which would be fantastic, and then we just need to concentrate on finding ourselves a weapon with which to disrupt the Millis parade. Let's do it. Radio B is where this first patrol is going to go to. We are going to go to the doctor as planned. They are going to go to the grocer, and we are going to go to the chemistry lab. And they are going to go to radio A. Their 4th patrolman is going to go to the fence again. So they're just hanging out by the fence, watching folks, what do you do at fences? Urinate, throw things, do graffiti. So that's fine. That worked out quite nicely. And I'm happy with this little triangle of safety we have going on here. So today, on day 4, again, we're going to go to the doctor, get some medicine. We are going to spend a medicine at the chemist lab and come back with some dynamite. And then we're going to shuffle our way back over the pont to the south side of town, where we make our way home. And we are safe. The patrols are done. And then, we're just going to do the same thing. Just going to keep doing it. There's a formula here, but it's working, so we're going to stick to it. Oh, I need to move the day. Day number 5. So we've placed our Pont l'Evêque. This patrol is going to go to the grocers. We have placed our doctor, in which the patrol will go to Radio B. And I need to shuffle this after I place my chemistry expert. Are we the chemist or do we hire a chemist? I suppose we're the chemist. So that's kind of cool. You're a talented fella. Let's see. We've got two more patrols to place, I should say. But you know what? You can't touch this. You cannot get close. You go into the Pont du Nord, that's fine, have a nice time, and you are going to Rue Badadat, and that's okay too. We've done this before, I believe. We're going to the doctors, getting some medicine, trading some medicine in the chemist lab for some explosives, and we have enough explosives here to, gosh, I don't know, maybe derail a train? It's just a thought. It's just a thought. That's what I was thinking. We could just derail a train. If you wanted to, that's what we could do. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I'm open to other suggestions, but what do you think? What do you think, guys? Derail a train? Yeah, let's derail a train. It's day 6, after all. Our morale is falling, unfortunately, further and further down. In which case, you know what, I think I might actually think about going to try and get some more morale this turn, because I'm feeling a little low. I'm feeling a little blue, and to be quite honest, I don't really want to start drawing 5 patrols. So I think if I head to the poor district, I do have food and medicine to spare in which to draw my morale back up. I'm quite aware that I have to place a worker all the way up at the top here to destroy the train. So that's a bit frustrating, because there's a distinct possibility that they might not come back. Although that said, the poor district has this little orange shield, so I don't have to be able to trace a route back from here for this worker. I suppose then we could look forward to the next mission, which is obtain some weaponry. And we can either do that at the fence by throwing money over and then waiting for someone to throw a weapon back, or we can call it in at one of the radio sites, get the airdrop, get the weapon to one of the fields here, and then deliver that probably on day 9, I'm guessing, or maybe even day 12, to the Rue Badadat and shoot somebody. Yes, was that... Maybe I've rambled on for a bit too long. I think maybe all of this was quite obvious, but let's start, shall we? We're going to take a worker up to the train tracks. He has a rather heavy load of these. They're chewing gum. It's sticks of chewing gum, officer. Nothing to see here. And we are going to destroy the train. We're going to patrol the grocery. We are going to... Yes, I do believe I'm going to go to the poor district and up my morale. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I don't really feel like hovering around number 1, by day 9. Obviously, we're planning to win the game by day 9, but just in case... So do I go Poor District and Black Market? If we pulled Pont l'Evêque? No, we haven't. Pont l'Evêque's back in the deck. So if I go to Poor District and Black Market, but then draw a patrol to Pont l'Evêque, then we would be, unfortunately, completely screwed. So that might not be a good idea. Maybe I have to do my little Pont l'Evêque. I've just got a guy stand. That's all his job is. He's just a lookout. He just stands on the bridge. Pretty boring, I imagine, for him. But you know what? Someone's got to do it. Patrol number 2. Oh, yeah, well, okay, it is Pont l'Evêque. Oh no, though, the second choice, or the second location is, unfortunately, Pont du Nord, and that is going to block off our train destroyer. He is gonna, he's twiddling his thumbs, making his way back from the rail track after some giant tank disaster. And, that explosive soot on his hands, he's gonna get swabbed at the airport, and he's gonna get arrested, unfortunately. That is quite a shame. In which case, what I could do is it would prove this gentleman completely worthless, unfortunately, but I could go and hire another resistance fighter. No offense, I mean, you're irreplaceable in my eyes, but we need to bolster our numbers again. 2 of us can't take care of this rowdy lot. I think I'm going to go to the cafe and spend this cash, instead of giving it to the poor, sorry poor, we're gonna just give it to somebody to join our club. That is what I'm gonna do. They are gonna patrol Radio A, and how many did I draw? 1, 2, 3, yes, we're drawing one more, aren't we? And Radio B, so no radios this turn. Yeah, 4 is right. No radios this turn. We have destroyed the train successfully. We had to be there between day 6 and 9. We got there on day 6. Perfectly executed, if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, oh well, we'll do this as well. We'll hire our resistance fighter from the cafe. Unfortunately, though, as we go to trace our way back home, this resistance fighter, as aforementioned, has run into a patrol and will get escorted swiftly off the premises. Ah, sacre bleu, mon ème jaune. I had to step away for a while, so I need to get back into the swing of things. So we're resistance fighters, yes. We're at the safe house. I remember that. We blew up a train. That was awesome. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 days for which to prepare to get to the Millis Parade and essentially assassinate someone. I mean, that's really, you know, let's not pull any punches here. We need a weapon to do that. We currently have medicine and we have food. I could go to the black market, trade one of these things, get money, and go buy a weapon at the fence. However, I also don't want to lose a morale by doing that. My other option, then, of course, is to go to one of the radios and call in an airdrop. They will send me a weapon to one of my chosen fields, and I think that's the route I'm going to do. While I do like the thought of exchanging weapons for cash over a fence, I think we're gonna rely on the old dog and bone here. How many patrols have we got? We got 4 patrols. Still, we're on level 2 morale. So do we go to Radio A or Radio B? Well, Pont l'Evêque's been pulled. The Grocer's been pulled. 2 Grocers have been pulled. Okay, let's go to Radio B. I think I'd like to hedge my bets and probably start at the black market, and that way we can either shore up this direction or this direction, depending on what this next patrol is. It is Radio A, and that's fine. So let's go to Radio B with our second resistance. We have drawn a Pont l'Evêque for the second patrol, which means that this guy has a date at the grocery. He's going to bring back some food for, you know, something. You know what, we might go to the poor district actually and raise our morale. I think I mentioned that before I took my short break here. We're going to patrol at the fence, and we need a 4th patrol, which is also going to the fence and therefore going to Rue Badadat. No drama, all good, and let's see. We don't have to, if we don't want to, take an action on a space that we've landed on. So we don't have to do this, and we don't have to move our morale down. And I'm kind of leaning on that. I don't think that I will. However, what I can do is airdrop for sure from Radio B, and let's just send it over to this field right here. We will trace our way back to the safe house, and all 3 of our resistance members make it through nice and safe. On to the next day, and it is day number 7, and things are moving pretty well. We haven't had any run-ins with the Millis. We haven't had to shoot anybody yet. We haven't had anyone. Oh yeah, we had that one person arrested. But you know, we'll pour one out for him, but we're on track, and I think we're on track for a victory here. Now we have the weapon. Yes, I do believe that I will go to the poor district to try and raise our morale just a little bit, just to kind of, you know, just to make sure. And we need to shuffle our patrol deck, and let's pull our first patrol of the day. They are going to Radio A. That's okay. Where else did we say we're going to? Oh yeah, we need to go and get our weapon, obviously. So we'll do that. The second patrol is going to the fence, So that would have been off limits for trading anyway. Do we need to go anywhere with this fella? Probably not. I mean, I guess we could hire someone else, but there's not really any need. Well, you know what? We'll just go to Pont l'Evêque to make sure that our boy can get home here. So that's the fence and Rue Badadat, so that's that one. And then our fourth patrol is going to the grocery. So we are going to trade a medicine and a food for 1 morale at the poor district. We're going to bring our weapon home back to the safe house. That will give us the necessary means to carry out our plot at the parade. And the day is 8. The day is 8. The day is the 8th. The 8th day is upon us. Well, what do we do? I mean, I don't think there's anything to do, really. I don't really think we need to do anything. We're not gonna, there's no victory points or anything like that, so we don't need to like hoard resources. Really, I think I can just kind of hang out in the fields. And we've got 4 patrols. So 1 to Radio B. You go to the cafe, have a nice cup of coffee before, moseying over to the parade grounds and doing the dastardly deed or whatever. Radio A here, and you can go to the field because they're going to Pont l'Evêque. So then we're gonna move. Yeah, let's. You know what? Why not? Why don't we end the game with 4 freedom fighters? That sounds pretty good to me. So we enter day 9. Our morale falls, but luckily we boosted it on that previous turn. So to start, I mean, really, let's just head right over there. We're gonna carry our weapon over to the Rue, and I think are on the home straight. Pont l'Evêque. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait. I didn't do that. I did that the wrong way around because I should have. Yeah, I should have done. Never mind. He's gonna get arrested anyway, so whatever. I mean, all of these folks are probably gonna stay down south anyway because. Just because they have no need to move anywhere else. We can all stay south of the river and pretend to be unaffiliated with with what's going on at the parade right now. So that's the 3rd patrol to Radio A. We'll go to the field again, hang out with some cows. The 4th patrol goes to the grocer and the poor district. Deliver 1 weapon to Rue Badadat on a parade day. That's 3, 6, 9, 12, or 14. The worker is arrested. Increase morale by 1, and the mission is complete. So, victorious we are in the uprising against the paramilitary forces occupying our town. And you know what? A damn good job we did too. 3 of us left. No, not even a soldier in sight. So we never actually even upgraded any of the militia patrols to soldier patrols, which was great. Never in any trouble or any danger of getting shot. And I think that went pretty well. I'm glad that I decided to switch. I thought about obviously getting rid of the easy one first. But I'm glad that I reneged on that decision, because getting this done at 6 gave us 3 days to be very comfortably in control for the parade. That is Maquis. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and making it this far. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. And yeah, stick around. Plenty more solo play board games where this one came from. Yeah, I really enjoy this game. It's quick. The setup is quite simple or straightforward. I like the fact that you can kind of pair different missions. If we wanted to, blow up the train and take out the bridge, then we could do that and have to just be producing explosives forever. There's one we have to poison dogs and help a spy and all sorts of cool stuff. So I really like that. And then on the back of the rulebook, there's also kind of different levels of difficulty. So we played this on the easy level. We could have been playing another tricky level, I think, which just means that we get to, you know, our turn, or our game ends on number 12, on day 12. Oh, and we would have had to start with 2 workers. Yes, I've tried that before. It's very difficult. So yeah, tricky, we could have, I've done tricky once with a couple of easy missions, but this one I think would have been very difficult to do with only two people, especially. I mean, having to go back to the chemist lab 3 times was a big time suck. Anyway, I've rambled. That is going to be it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Do stick around, hit like, hit subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you later.